everyone, it's Miss Y for Maker Monday. Today's project is a super cute yarn rainbow. I made this rainbow out of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple yarn, and I used some rope and cardboard. Now this traditional red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple rainbow is pretty cute, but you can also use different colors for your rainbow too. It really just depends on what kind of yarn you have. Here's another example of another yarn rainbow that I created. It's not red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but it is colors that I really like how they look together. I also found this really neat trim that has pom-poms, and I decided to add those to the back of my rainbow to add this really cute accent. Here's one that's kind of a little bit of both. So it's not a traditional bright red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but it's kind of close. I also found this yarn that has these cool loops. Any kind of yarn that you have is going to work. You are the artist. I'll show you how to make this one. Let's get started. You'll need some yarn, any kind, some rope or a clean mop, a piece of cardboard, glue, and scissors. Cut the cardboard to a square and then decide how big you want your arch to be. We're going to make it look like a U or an arch. I'm cutting this shape out of the center. This could be used as a fairy door. Save that for later. I'm going to round off these corners to make my cardboard into a rainbow arch shape. This is going to be the base of the rainbow. Next, I'm going to cut lengths of rope to fit onto this piece of cardboard. Figure out how many colors you're going to be using and cut that number of pieces of rope. Now it's time to put these in order. This is the order I think would look really good. I'm going to start with the purple. I'm going to pick up this lower rope and I'm going to tie one end of my purple yarn onto the rope. I wrap it around, cross it over, and take that tip and slide it through the hole. It's sort of like the first part of tying your shoe. I'm going to leave some of the white rope showing. I don't want it on the very, very end. Keep about an inch. Next, I'm going to wrap this yarn around the rope. You could do it a couple of ways. You could wrap it, roll it around. It kind of takes a long time to do that. Here's an easier way. Hold your rope and rotate it so that the yarn wraps around the rope. Make sure it's nice and tight and there's not any rope showing in between. Now this purple yarn is pretty curly and fluffy. If you're using thinner yarn, it will take more yarn and more time. Just keep rolling until you get about an inch to the end and then cut off your yarn. We're going to tie it so it doesn't unravel. It's pretty much the same as when we tied it on the first time. Wrap it around, put the end through that hole, and pull it to secure. And again, make sure some of that white rope is still showing. Okay, we have our first one done. Set that aside and let's move on to the next color. I'm going to use this dark green. This yarn is a lot thinner than that purple yarn, so it will take a little more time and it will take more yarn. Tie the end to the rope just like we did before, and then we're going to do the same thing. Twist it, twist it, twist it. You do need to have some patience here. Maybe you could listen to your favorite podcast while you're working. Repeat the same exact thing for all of your pieces of rope and all of your colors of yarn. Now I'm finally done with the last one. Arrange them onto your cardboard and trim off any little pieces of yarn that are too long. Keep the rope though. Play around with any kind of trim that you have. Maybe it's loops, maybe you have some fringe or pom-poms, any kind of yarn or trim that you have. When you're happy with how it looks, get your glue, and we're going to secure these yarn ropes onto the cardboard. Be sure to add lots and lots of glue. If you prefer to use a hot glue gun, make sure to get a grown-up to help you. Now it's time to add the yarn ropes in the order that you want. Make sure they are nice and tight, that they're touching, and they're nice and flat on that cardboard. Press it down into the glue to secure it. The last part I'm going to add to mine is this loopy trim, and there we have it. Give the end a little snip, and we need to let this dry completely. And just as an added bonus, I like this yellow trim that I found. It's not really yarn, but it was something I had around the house. If you would like to add extra trim like this, carefully add glue between the two colors that you want it to go on, and very gently and carefully place it into the glue. Don't worry, this glue does dry clear, so it's not going to show. Cut that off and allow it to dry. After it's completely dry, let's cut the ropes so they're even, and then unravel them a little bit to make it a little fuzzy at the bottom. If you have extra trim like this pom-pom rope, you can flip your rainbow over and carefully glue onto the back. I cut these out ahead of time. They're all the same length. One way to make a hanger on the back is find a short piece of yarn and make an arch in the back. Then you can tape it, you can hot glue it, any way that you can to attach it. Or you could attach a paper clip using hot glue. That was super fun! Make sure to like this video and subscribe. You get to do a new art project every week. See you next time!